Welcome to our blockchain deep dive session. So, we're exploring the risks of using cross-chain bridges in the current DeFi landscape, right?
Absolutely, and it's quite fascinating, how these bridges enable asset transfers between different blockchains like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, um, you've got this bustling blockchain metropolis, and cross-chain bridges are the highways that connect these
Right.
different neighborhoods.
I dig that imagery. But these highways aren't always safe, are they? There's a whole bag of risks involved.
Oh, definitely. It's like using a toll road that's full of potholes. With over $3.3 billion lost in hacks between 2021 and 2022 alone, the cybersecurity vulnerabilities are a massive concern.
Yeah, those attacks on the Ronin Bridge and the wormhole exploit really highlight how dangerous things can get.
Right. The Ronin Bridge breach, where hackers stole over $600 million, really exposed how a weak multi-signature scheme can be
Yeah.
exploited.
And then there's the wormhole incident with the $325 million loss, showing that even well-established bridges can have critical vulnerabilities in their smart contract code.
Exactly. And these incidents underscore a crucial point. Secure coding practices and rigorous audits are absolutely necessary for these bridges to be trusted.
Totally, but I wonder, can we really ever eliminate all risk? Even some decentralization still leaves traces, right?
True, there's an inherent risk. While decentralization can help reduce a single point of failure, not every bridge has achieved complete decentralization. Some still rely on centralized custodians, which is definitely
Yeah,
a drawback.
that makes sense. Beyond the cybersecurity aspect, what about the issues with traceability? It's like when assets move across chains, tracking them becomes a nightmare due to pseudonymity.
You're spot on. Unlike traditional finance where every transaction is clear, blockchain transactions are pseudonymous, and that anonymity can actually aid hackers in moving illicit funds undetected.
Absolutely. I guess that's one of the reasons why standardizing communication protocols, like what the Interblockchain Communication (IBC) protocol aims to do, is so crucial.
Right. Standardization could help bridge the interoperability gap and even mitigate some traceability challenges, making it easier for regulatory bodies to track suspicious moves.
But doesn't that also introduce challenges? Achieving widespread standardization across such diverse networks sounds like a Herculean task.
True, it's not going to be a walk in the park, but consider it like standardizing. Even something as everyday as USB ports. It takes time and consensus, but eventually it smooths things out.
Yeah, exactly. I love that analogy. So aside from security improvements, where do you see the ideal future for cross-chain bridges?
Well, the vision is like a blockchain utopia where users can transfer assets seamlessly without noticing the technical hurdles beneath. Think of it as a user-friendly interface meeting deep, secure, decentralized blockchain tech.
Right. It's not just about making it safer, but making it so intuitive that even non-techies feel comfortable swapping assets just like they'd shop online.
Yeah, so enhanced user experience is a big focus. The idea is to integrate wallets, chains, and the bridges into a sort of friendly Web 2-like environment.
True. But here's a respectful challenge. Don't you think that striving for usability might compromise some of the underlying security? I worry that simplifying the process might inadvertently open up more vulnerabilities.
That's a fair point. It's like um, balancing between making something accessible and keeping it robust. The key is to not cut corners on security, even if it means a bit more
Right.
complexity on the back end.
I see. So the ideal future isn't just about ease of use, but also about fortifying the entire ecosystem through techniques like formal verification and robust smart contract governance.
Exactly. Formal verification, which is a rigorous mathematical method to check the code's correctness, is expected to be a game changer in eliminating vulnerabilities before deployment.
Yeah, that could really help address issues proactively instead of reacting to breaches after the fact.
Moreover, moving to a fully decentralized bridge network can shift the trust model away from a single point of failure. It's about distributing both governance and operations across a wider network of validators.
It's like having a community watch over the system rather than trusting just one gatekeeper. Absolutely.
Right. And these validator networks can even be incentivized through tokens, as we see with projects like Wormhole launching token programs to encourage ecosystem participation.
Yeah. So essentially, the future is leaning towards stronger, decentralized structures, tempered with formal verification, and smart standardization protocols, all to protect users and assets better.
Exactly. And it all comes down to building bridges that aren't just quick pathways for assets, but robust, secure fortresses, ensuring trustless and safe transfers.
Now, do you think the industry is making fast enough progress on these improvements, or is the pace a bit too slow considering the stakes?
I think it's a mixed bag. On one hand, the rapid evolution of these technologies is promising. On the other, the high-profile hacks remind us that we have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, definitely. There's always this tension between innovation and security. In the rush to connect chains, sometimes the security best practices might not keep up, right?
Absolutely, which is why the community's push for rigorous audits and bug bounty programs is critical. They provide an environment where vulnerabilities can be exposed and fixed promptly.
It sounds like there's a big learning curve here and plenty of room for improvement. I also find it interesting that the history of these bridges shows an evolution from centralized custodians to more decentralized systems.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Starting from 2016, with projects like Ethereum's Plasma and WanChain, moving to trustless, smart contract-based bridges in 2019. It's been a rapid
Absolutely.
evolution.
But it also makes me wonder about future innovations. Could we, say, eventually see bridges that are impervious to these attacks? Or is that a pipe dream?
Well, nothing's 100% foolproof. But note that as formal verification and decentralized approaches mature, the risk profile can drop significantly. It's more about raising the bar high enough that hacking becomes economically non-viable.
Couldn't agree more. That's really solid. And so ultimately, the quest is for interoperability in a blockchain landscape that never compromises on security, right?
Right on. It's all about interconnected networks that allow seamless asset transfers without anyone having to worry about vulnerabilities or tracking issues.
It's like creating a global, secure financial system built on decentralized trust. Fantastic concept.
Totally, and as billions of users begin to onboard into Web3, ensuring that these cross-chain bridges are safe, intuitive, and resilient will be paramount to the ecosystem's
Absolutely.
success.
And I guess that, in turn, means that developers, regulators, and the wider community all have a role to play in refining these systems over the coming years.
Yep, definitely. It's a collaborative effort, kind of like building a skyscraper where every floor, every support must be rock solid for the whole structure to stand tall.
Well put. It looks like while the challenges in the cross-chain bridge space are massive, they're not insurmountable if the industry keeps trending towards decentralization, rigorous verification, and user-centered design.
Exactly. And it's that kind of innovation, learning from past hacks, leveraging formal methods, and enhancing decentralization that will eventually pave the way for a fully interoperable and secure blockchain
Right,
ecosystem.
indeed. It's been a really enlightening discussion delving into these risks and solutions around cross-chain bridges. Definitely food for thought for anyone involved in DeFi and blockchain tech.
Absolutely, and as we move forward, keeping these risks in check while pushing for interoperability might just be the blueprint for the future of blockchain. Thanks for the engaging conversation.
Thank you. This really shed light on both the pitfalls and the promising paths ahead in the blockchain world.